ABC's Jay O'Brien joins me live now on Capitol Hill for more on this. Jay, McCarthy's already made some pretty big concessions, so what more could he do at this point to appease his detractors?
Well, we've seen that McCarthy is prepared to potentially make some concessions on bringing spending bills to the floor, bringing other bills to the floor that would result in congressional term limits and other things that are priorities for the further right of the House GOP conference. Perhaps his biggest concession, as you have no doubt heard about, is this notion of making it easier for a single member of Congress to call for a vote to oust the Speaker of the House, which means if Kevin McCarthy eventually became the Speaker, he's making it easier through these concessions to get him out of that job. All of that to say, we know that there were deals being hammered out overnight, those anti-McCarthy members of Congress huddling with McCarthy allies, trying to hammer out the framework of a deal. We know that there is an offer on paper that's being tweaked, and McCarthy will present the specs of that offer and the potential agreement to House Republicans this morning. What happens after that is unclear. We know that that deal would potentially get some of the anti-McCarthy votes on board, maybe not all of them. McCarthy, as Rachel mentioned, can only afford to lose 5. So if there are 5 of those anti-McCarthy votes that do not like this deal, we go back to square one, Diane.
Now, in the meantime, Jay, what practical consequences are we seeing from this? We heard Congressman Bacon, for example, telling Rachel that he can't help people with everyday items like passport issues, disability claims, visas. So what else is on hold right now?
Well, the floor of the House of Representatives is frozen until you elect a Speaker of the House. They cannot consider any other business, which means you can't bring any legislation. You can't impanel any committees. Committees do oversight over various aspects of the federal government, like the Pentagon, like the intelligence community, like Veterans Affairs, like agriculture. Those committees are not operational right now because there are no official members of Congress. Why? Because you can't swear in any members of Congress until you elect a Speaker. That's one of the reasons why we're seeing issues with committee constituent casework, which you heard Rachel allude to, and security clearances, because you can't get into those secure meetings unless you're a member of Congress who is allowed to be in those meetings, and you're not a member of Congress until you elect a Speaker of the House. There's also an event horizon come this Friday, next Friday, a week from today, if there's not a rules package adopted by then, which is again something you do after you elect a Speaker, that puts the pay of certain committee members in peril, and they might not get paid back for that work that they've already done, Diane. So the floor of the House of Representatives, the business of the House, frozen again until they can pick a Speaker. It's been 3 days of this now.
What a mess. And Jay, we've talked about how it's been 100 years since the Speaker wasn't elected on the first vote. But now that we're entering 12 rounds, that hasn't happened since before the Civil War. How significant is that?
Right. In 1923, they went 9 ballots before they elected a Speaker. Again, we've now gone 12. It's not the record. 133 ballots is the record. That took 2 months. The time before that, the record was 44 ballots. That took about a month. And those were times when the country was marching towards civil war. And those Speaker races, they were so contentious, they were so drawn out because they were mired in issues that ended up impacting the country and sending the country into the Civil War. So a sign of how tense it was then, and that's what led to this drawn-out Speaker vote. Now you're seeing another drawn-out Speaker vote in another tense House of Representatives, although fighting on very different issues, Diane.
All right, Jay O'Brien for us on Capitol Hill. Thanks, Jay.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.